Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rams Revealed. I'm your host, JB Long, and here in 2024, Rams Revealed is presented by Sleep Number, the Rams sleep and wellness partner. We know that no one wants to be 0-2 on the young season, but here to help us work through some of that and get our eyes up to Week 3 in the San Francisco 49ers is rookie wide receiver Jordan Whittington. Good to sit down with you, Jordan. Thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So give us a sense of the facility right now. What are some of the things your coaches, your captains are saying and doing at the facility in the hopes of getting this thing turned around sooner rather than later?
Yeah, so pretty much just staying on the course that we've been on as far as leadership and everybody holding each other accountable. And we're just all trying to move with the same direction, same steps, and just, do what we need to do to handle business. And I think everything will work itself out.
We'll get into your personal story a little bit, but as you look back on your football career, any parallel examples to this, like a slow start to the season that you were able to build off of?
I've had a couple. The people that know a couple seasons at Texas that didn't go exactly how we planned it, but we were able to, prevail and towards the end of the year make something happen. And then last year, we had a magical year, and that directly translated, I feel like, into the season they're having now, and Texas is now number one.
You didn't wait long. What was that, about 90 seconds into the show, and you already got right into it. So I'm sure the Michigan guys on the team will appreciate you dropping that early.
They're mad at me.
Week 2, your first official NFL catch. Congratulations. The first one went for no gain, so we'll focus on the second one. We'll treat that one like your first one.
Appreciate it.
But you were telling me before we got started that you actually thought it was the one against the Cowboys during the summer.
Yeah, so I didn't separate preseason, regular season. So my first catch in my mind was the Cowboys one. Like my first experience running out a tunnel for an NFL game was that game. But I will say the vibe was definitely different. Like when we came out Detroit game, Arizona, it was definitely a different vibe. So there's differences there, but as far as my mind, Dallas was the first one.
Speaking of Detroit, we thought you had your first NFL touchdown. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that one, but looking forward to that.
Yeah,
you have anything special planned when you do get in the end zone?
I don't. I just let whatever happen. Usually I just act like a maniac and run around everywhere, but I'm going to try to come up with some type of dance or something. I need some more swagger.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
More unfortunate injury news here in Woodland Hills as we start this week. First, we know Puka Nacua to injured reserve. Now Cooper Kupp hurt his ankle too. You played, Jordan, half of the snaps against Arizona. How prepared do you feel to step into an even larger role for a depleted receiver room?
Yeah, I feel very prepared. And I think the reason for that is the guys we had in that room and the guys that we do have in the room. And just Cooper and Puka, just how they instilled certain type of things and a mentality in me that just gave me the ability just to be able to step up, and I appreciate them for that. But it really is unfortunate when you lose 2 of your leaders like that. But that's kind of how football goes sometimes. So the other guys that are still there, we just got to be able to do what we need to do.
We always like it better when Coop is a player coach.
Yeah.
But he's pretty good as a coach too. And if that's the role he fills for these next few weeks, what can he still bring to the Rams?
Just his mentality, everything that he learns in the game. Like I always say about him, he's very intentional in everything he does. So when you can pick his brain and what he's learning, what he's seeing out there, and then you get that same look, you're able to use it. And you really can use it to your advantage when you think like him.
Preparing for this conversation, I read a lot about you this morning, and I felt like your story is one that I personally needed today.
Yeah.
I think our audience can benefit from it, too.
Yeah.
I think it makes the most sense to just take it chronologically, if that's okay with you.
Let's do it.
We don't have to go back to, the day you were born, but, how about small town, South Texas? Tell us where you're from and what life was like in Cuero?
Cuero, Texas.
About 90 miles southeast of San Antonio?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
go for it.
I'm from Cuero, Texas, small town. I think 5,000 people is the population. Big family. I have 12 siblings. And, football was kind of just seen as the way to make it out of Cuero. So I saw some of my family members play it prior to me. So I fell in love with it, and, I used it to my advantage. I went to a great university, had a roller coaster career with injuries and stuff like that. But I'm here now, so I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
So Austin first, then LA. Was there culture shock along the way as you stepped into
from
bigger
Austin to LA?
environments?
There was really a culture shock. Yeah, so from Cuero to Austin was a huge culture shock. When I was in Austin during college, at some point I started traveling a lot, so I was able to see a lot of different cities. So coming to LA wasn't that big of a culture shock, but the traffic was a big shock for me.
You mentioned your siblings. One of them played at SMU, right? Quincy.
Yeah.
What's he up to now?
He's working in Houston right now. He's a bodybuilder, personal trainer, and he does some other stuff in the oil industry. So That's my guy, man.
And I know your mom made it all work at home.
Yeah,
Tell us
did.
about her influence in your young adult life.
Just, when you have like a single parent household, just seeing how strong a woman can be as far as taking care of you and putting you first, that's the big thing for me. So that she's my angel, she's my star. So I love to praise her anytime I can.
Has she seen you play in person yet?
In the NFL
Rams?
game? Nah, not yet.
Looking
She
forward
will
to
though.
that.
Yeah, she will.
I read that your uncle won a Super Bowl with the Raiders, Arthur Whittington, but unfortunately just passed this spring. Were you close with him, Jordan?
Yeah, super close. That was my guy. My dad was really, really close to him. But I would go to Houston almost every weekend and stay the night with him. And he was just, like I said, making it out of Quero was the football route, and he was wanting to go to NFL and win a Super Bowl. So, and he's a legend in my hometown. So any type of moment I could spend with him, I love to spend it with him.
His passing was just a few days before you got drafted, if I'm not mistaken. Do you think of him on draft night?
I did. We had his jersey actually on the couch, like as if he was sitting there. So that was kind of a cool experience.
All right, so your brother played, your uncle played, and your career started as a prep.
Yeah.
And I think those in our audience may already know, but you set the state championship game record with 334 rushing, breaking someone named Eric Dickerson's 4A record, 6 total touchdowns in that game. Before I get to Edie, like, what role were you playing in that offense? All of them?
Yeah, pretty much. Just wherever they needed me to be. But it was, I think, mainly receiver. But that game I did a lot of like wildcat quarterback. So it was pretty cool.
Have you met Ed?
I listened to him give us a speech one time, but I didn't have time to come up and actually like meet him and stuff like
Kind
that.
of like the
but I definitely was going to bring
rookie
up
welcome gathering.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was going to bring up the record though if I would have met him.
That'd be a good way to introduce yourself.
I'm gonna say, hey, he might know me. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll check in with it.
Yeah.
We'll make that happen. I feel like that's a good moment the
Yes,
Ramley
sir.
will enjoy. By the end of your high school career, you're like a 5-star athlete,
Yep.
right? One of the nation's top recruits. In fact, I think I saw you sandwiched between Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels in your recruiting class, which
Yeah.
is kind of funny to see you all as pros now. And you commit to Texas. Then Tom Herman, is that right?
Tom Herman. Yep.
Okay, and stay through Sark. Was it a clear choice, an easy choice to stay in state and play for the Longhorns?
It was the closer the time got, but at first I thought it was Florida Gators for me. But I got to a point where I was like, I hadn't left Texas prior to that as far as like living in a different city, so I just wasn't ready to move out of state, and I made the right decision. It was just a gut feeling.
You can say that now, but as I look back on your college career,
Yeah,
I
you
bet there were
wouldn't
some
think-
doubts
yeah,
along the
yeah,
way.
there-
Let's
there
take it
were.
1 year at a time. Your first college football game,
Yeah.
your recollection?
First time I got the ball, I tore something. I was out for that season.
So one game and you hurt your groin and you're out for the year as a
Yeah.
freshman. You come back for a redshirt freshman season.
You know what's crazy? I think I got injured again the same game. So game 1, same quarter, and it was within the same 5 yards as far as the yard line.
Like on the field.
Yeah.
And this time it's a meniscus.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. And then year 3, you finally get some traction and you break your clavicle middle of the season against the rival Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah.
Where along the path did you think about leaving football? Like it just wasn't meant to be?
I would say the big moment, because, I mean, we're human, so you're going to have doubts when those injuries come. But the big moment where I really seriously was about to walk away was after the Oklahoma one, because it was just, I had got a taste of how good it could be, and it just had got snatched away again. You know, prior to that, it was just the first game, so it was like I didn't really get to experience it. But when you get to actually have a good year with the team and you're really heavily involved with it, and then it gets taken away again, it's like, this might be a sign I'm supposed to stop. But I kind of changed my perspective on that, and instead of seeing it as a sign to stop, I saw it as a sign to make my story better, and I kept pushing through.
Jordan, who consulted with you during that
My
period
mother.
of time?
Yeah, my mom, man. She actually told me she was like, hey, just get your degree. If you feel the same way after that, then we could just say no to it. And I listened to her, and I fell back in love with the game, got my degree, and everything kind of, started smoothing it out.
That's an important distinction. She wasn't like, hey, Jordan, you got to stick with football. Like,
Yeah.
family's counting on you. I know you're going to want this. She framed it a different way. Did you get your degree?
I did.
In
yeah.
what? What'd you
Public
study?
relations.
Oh, good for
Yeah.
you. And speaking of your academic senior year, I guess, so you're still got a year of eligibility beyond. You have a full healthy season.
Yeah.
You got a real chance to go pro, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You decide not to. And I read your Players Tribune article this morning. And if it's okay with you, I printed out a blurb. You know,
Yeah.
I could read it, but I think our audience would love to hear it
Yeah.
in your own words. If you can
do
go
it.
back in time and just tell them about where you were mentally.
Yeah. All right. So fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of what happens next. Truth be told, I actually decided to skip the draft because I was afraid the NFL might not work for me. And I was scared about what that would mean. When it came down to it, I had to be honest with myself and realize I wasn't ready to face the possibility that I wouldn't be playing football next year. And that I'd have to figure out something else to do. I remember that. I just got like little butterflies reading that. That was a real moment for me because I was like, you know, you always, when you're going through college football, you're always told, like, have a backup plan. Everybody doesn't make it to the NFL and all that. And you hear it, and it just sounds cliche until that moment actually presents itself. And it's like, okay, if the football thing doesn't work out, what am I really going to do? And I wasn't ready to face that yet. So I had to be honest with myself, you know, and that took a lot of, it was a pride moment. It was a moment where I had to be, you know, vulnerable with myself and just talk to people. I had to tell people to be honest with me. And I ended up staying another year. And that next year, I made it a point of emphasis to kind of figure out if it didn't work out, what I would do, and just the networking opportunity there at Texas. You know, I used that to my full advantage. I made some really good friends there that last year, and now I would have felt way more comfortable if it didn't work out.
One of the questions you posed to yourself in that piece is, who is Jordan Whittington without football? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you have a better sense of the answer to that question now?
Yeah, I do. I think now I see myself more as Jordan Whittington that happens to play football and not Jordan Whittington, the football player. So I kind of detach myself from the sport now. I don't think I need it. Yeah. But like I said, when you've been doing it for something for so long, like, you're naturally going to fall in love with it. So, yeah, I love the game. But do I feel like I need it to survive anymore? No. I think I'm just a great person. You know?
I mean, a lot of those draft-eligible players are probably racing to sign the papers, right, to get that next chance. I hope, I trust that there's someone out there who's going to hear this, who read your example, and will take something from that, the way that you modeled that for them. You know, Les Snead in the front office here in L.A. say that you were known as the Longhorns' heartbeat. During your time in Austin. What does that mean to you?
It means everything because I'm big on, I take it more serious when somebody else is saying something about me than when I'm saying it about me. So just hearing how people, when they're asked about how I make them feel, you know, and their answers, and just hearing stuff like that, it means everything to me because I'm big on relationships. And when I was at Texas, that was a big thing for me. I wanted to help turn the program around. And I think a group of us did, you know, and now you're starting to see it.
Sure. Yeah, you absolutely did get in the playoff. In terms of the draft, though, I don't sense any regret on your part because of what you just said. But when you do wait an extra year and then you have to wait until day 3 in the 6th round to be picked, did you have any thoughts of like, oh, I wonder what would have happened if I had just gone in 23?
Honestly, no, just because I wasn't ready as a human being either just to be on that next level. And it doesn't really cross my mind because I was able to grow up more that last year, just mentally, emotionally, and stuff like that. So I don't have any doubt, any regret about it.
Longhorns are doing great now, but that was a special group you had last year.
Yeah.
I mean, to think that you were 4th on the team in targets.
Yeah.
Look at these guys ahead of you: Worthy, Mitchell, Sanders. Like, just between the two of us, I looked at their numbers through 2 weeks, right? I'm saying, what if your rookie stats in the NFL actually outpace all those guys in 24?
Hey, I mean,
that'd be a pretty good story, right?
That'd be pretty cool. But hey, we're all in a group chat, so you know we're all really, really close. So yeah, if that does happen, I will be sending that in to the group chat.
You got my script because this next question, literally. Number 1 team in the nation. What's the text thread like after Arch Manning goes 67 yards on the ground last week?
Yeah,
it was blow up.
It was a lot of fire emojis in there. Yeah.
Do you know he had that in him?
I knew he had speed, and people had interviewed me. I said it on the record that Arch Manning is faster than people think, and he put it on display.
I saw a funny graphic, like you know, his entire family tree's career rushing totals in college compared to that one sprint for him. It's rivalry week, and I know it's your first taste of what the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams are all about, but you don't have to have played in this game to understand what a rivalry means to a fan base and a community. Yep. Give us a sense of some of your past rivalries at your level of football and what you learned from them.
I had one in high school. It was Quero versus Yoakum, which was like super big rivalry. They just played last week. Quero won, so that's really good. Then you got Oklahoma in Texas, and that's like, in my opinion, that's the biggest one in college football. And that was something that we took really serious. That week was really serious. So I kind of know all about the rivalry games. But I think the main thing is you don't want to prepare. You don't want to do too much extra.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do the same thing, but just do it harder, do it faster, and let the rest take care of itself.
I can't wait for you to influence outcomes in this rivalry as a pro the way that you have in high school and college. All right, time now for a segment we call the Wind Down, Jordan. It's brought to you by Sleep Number. Each week here on Rams Revealed, we'll get insight into how sleep and recovery impacts performance in the NFL. So I wonder, over the last year or so, has your routine changed at all from college? Any enhancements, be it to your diet, your sleep habits, your workout routines as you become a professional?
I would say I do way more at home. Like, I used to be a guy that stayed at the facility all day. I still do, but now when I get home, I just do extra. And I would think that's probably the main thing I do. Like, when I'm at home, I go up there, I'll watch some film, I'll do a lot of stuff for my body, and then maybe I'll get on the game for like 30 minutes. But other than that,
what's your game?
I'm a Madden guy, and I only play with the Rams.
Really?
Yeah, I put myself in.
How are you feeling about your own Madden rating and performance, and can we build on that?
I'm like, okay, so I do need to talk to Madden about this because I'm like a 60-something. I get it, all right. But every time my guy gets tired, he fumbles the ball. That needs to be fixed.
Talk to him on Sunday.
Yeah, so now I don't let people play me unless we turn the fatigue off.
Turn the fatigue off.
Yeah, because if you get my guy tired, he's going to let it go. I don't know what it is.
Oh, thanks to Sleep Number for that edition of the Wind Down. I was thinking of your mic'd up moment.
Yeah.
Such a great line. If this only exists in my dreams, do not
wake me up. Yep.
Perfect. So let's finish with a few rapid fire questions and then get you to your off day, if that's okay, Jordan. Have a few more smiles before we're done. Also from that preseason mic'd up against the Cowboys, the last we heard, you were learning some like NFL uniform etiquette rules. Through 2 weeks, no fines, I hope?
Yes, because I did not know you couldn't show your skin on your legs.
But all your paychecks are still in your pocket.
Oh, I'm good. I ain't been fined. I haven't been fined.
Good.
So, yeah.
The other tidbit is Bobby Brown came up to you and said, watch the hair because you can be tackled.
Yep. Guess what? I don't even think people know this. One of them got pulled out.
In that
I think the next time I got on the field. So he told me that the next play I was on the field, somebody pulled one of my locks out of my hair.
But your look's your look. You're not going to change that, are you?
I plan to cut it off in February.
Why February?
It's just after the season.
Okay,
yeah.
So get through this
then
first one.
If I do it after the season, it'll be off season. I won't be around anybody. So if I don't like how I look,
I see.
I don't have to see him every day.
But you don't get to wear your helmet around February, March, and April. That would be weird.
Yeah, I know.
That's okay.
It'll
be fun.
It's actually going to be one of the biggest decisions of my life, in my opinion. So.
Interesting that you mentioned a change in your look because the social team got you pretty good last week, didn't they?
Did, yeah.
With your old photos.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the six-pack selfie. What needs to be said?
I have no words for that one. I don't know. I thought I scrubbed all that stuff.
I think you should just like be a good sport about it, reprise it, like go into the locker room, take an updated one side by side, straight to Instagram.
That was tough.
What about the saxophone? You got a future in music?
So it's a backstory about that. So I wanted to learn how to play it because I feel like it's the most beautiful instrument out there. So I bought one, and that was me taking a picture with it the day I bought it. And then I tried to learn for like 2 months, and it was too hard. But yeah, I still own it, so I'm gonna pick it back up at some point.
This off season, picking up a new instrument and having a new haircut.
Exactly. I'll be a whole
New Year's resolutions 2025.
Yeah.
Speaking of Instagram, I saw that you actually spent some time with Bevo.
I did.
On the ranch. So here's my thing. I love the NFL. There's very few areas in which college football is better than professional.
Yeah.
But live mascots, I think, is one. Would you be in favor of the NFL
having a ram?
The Los Angeles Rams, live ram on the sideline at SoFi Stadium.
Yes.
There's some precedent here.
Yes.
Thumbs up?
I would be every pregame.
I just don't want Rampage to be offended.
See, we had Bevo and the Hook'em mascot at the same time.
Okay, so there's room for both.
And they were able to, there was no problems.
All right. Finally, Steve Avila is on the road to recovery. Glad everything went well. He'll stop by here time to time. He's been a guest on Rams Revealed, but behind the scenes, he's a contributor almost every week.
Gotcha.
His contribution this week is that you might have a hidden talent. Are you a singer?
I can sing a little bit. Yep.
What does a little bit mean?
If you take me to a karaoke bar, everyone's going to stand up and clap. If you take me to American Idol, I might not make it past the first round. So I'm right in the middle.
What's your go-to?
I'm an old school, I'm an old R&B, old soul music type of guy. Maybe gospel.
Okay.
And Steve is saying that because me and him do a cappella everything back and forth when we're in the hot tub and cold tub. So I'll be in the cold, he'll be in the hot, and we'll just be singing songs and then switch. Yeah. Good
Thanks
times.
for taking us inside the facility. That's pretty good. He's not too big to admit that your Spanish is better than his, too.
Yeah, I could
Is that
speak
true?
a little bit. Poquito.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a tough week for all of us, but we're looking forward to getting this in the right column sooner rather than later. I know you're coming up on a 24th birthday. Is that right?
October 1st, yeah.
October 1. We'll circle that.
Yes, sir.
Happy early birthday to you. It's great to get to know you a little bit better.
I
I
appreciate
know
it.
the Rams audience really appreciates it.
Thank you so much.
For Jordan, I'm JB Long. Thank you, everyone, for being with us for another episode of Rams Revealed each and every week, presented by Sleep Number. Hope to see you Sunday at SoFi Stadium.